Hi, today I will be implementing the columns shuffle and the dozens shuffle. Okay, so how this works is we wait for a column or a dozen to hit twice in a row. When a column or a dozen hits twice in a row, we start in with our bet. And there's a column and a dozen which hit twice in a row. So that in that case, we're just going to wait an extra spin and see if a column or a dozen hits one more time. And the dozen hit one more time. So we're going to go with the dozens and shuffle on the dozens. We're going to go 15 on each, and then we're going to go 45 on each. Cost a bankroll of $120, and if you miss 2 bets in a row, you walk away. So now we go up to 45 because it missed again, and we bet. Okay, so we made 15 off that. Now let's see here. We wait for a column or a dozen to hit twice in a row. And as you can see, the middle column hit twice in a row with this 32 and then this 23. So we're going to implement the column shuffle going 15, 45. And we're just going to wait for a column or a dozen to hit twice in a row. So we're just going to sit and wait patiently. Okay, so a third dozen hit twice in a row. We're going to implement on the first and second dozen and go 15, 45. But it hit, so we made some money. And now we're going to wait for a column or a dozen to hit twice in a row. There, the first dozen hit twice in a row, so we're going to bet with the other 2 dozens. And now we're going to wait for a column or a dozen to hit twice in a row. There's a third dozen which hit twice in a row, so we're going to implement on the first 2 dozens. Now we're going to wait for a column or a dozen to hit twice in a row. As you can see, this doesn't hit twice in a row, and this column hit twice in a row. So we're going to wait one more spin since 2 of them hit twice in a row and see which one we can bet with. Okay, so again, it was this dozen and this column that hit twice in a row. So we're gonna wait one more spin and see which one to bet with. Okay, again, this column, and this dozen hit twice in a row on these 4 numbers. So we're gonna wait one more turn and see which one doesn't hit. Okay, so as you can see, the dozen or the column didn't show up again, so we're going to wait for a column or a dozen to show up twice in a row. Okay, now as you can see, this column and this dozen showed up twice in a row, so we're going to wait one more spin and see if a column or a dozen hits again. In this case, the column hit again, so we're going to go with column shuffle because the column showed up more times in a row than the dozen showed up more times in a row. So we're going to bet with the column shuffle and go 15, 45. Now it missed, so we're going to go up to 45. And there, that's all that we do. We just simply start over. Okay, so as you can see, this column showed up twice in a row, so we're going to implement on the column shuffle. And as you can see, this dozen showed up twice in a row, so we're going to implement the dozen shuffle. And we're going to go up to 45 because it missed. And we're going to bet. Now we're going to wait for a column or a dozen to show up twice in a row. Okay, so this column showed up twice in a row. We're going to bet with the opposite two columns and bet. It missed, so we're going to go up to 45 on that. And it missed, so we're going to start over. You want to up your sequence from 30 to 90. That's going to work good too. There we go, that one hit. And we're going to wait for a column to show up twice in a row, or a dozen to show up twice in a row. There's this column and this dozen, so we're going to wait one more time and see which one occurs more times. They both didn't, so we're going to wait another spin, see which column or dozen shows up twice in a row. This column showed up 2 times, so we'll bet with the opposite two, and we're on 60, 90. Or 30, 30, 90, I mean. So it hit, and we're simply going to wait. Okay, so this dozen showed up twice and there was a 0 in between, so we count that as 2 times, and we're gonna bet with the dozens. Oh, and we're on double our sequence. There, we've recovered most of our money. We can go one more turn at 30.90, or we can start back over. Let's go one more turn at 30.90. Okay, so this column showed up twice in a row. We're going to go 30.90 one more time and recover our losses. Okay, we recovered our losses. Now we're going to go 15.45 on our dozens and columns. But we want to wait for one to show up twice in a row. There's a dozen which showed up twice in a row. So we start off with 15, and if it misses, which it did, we go to 45. Now we're up 30 bucks even after all those losses. So Let's wait for a column or a dozen to show up twice in a row. Okay, so that's 2 third dozens. As you can see, there was a third dozen, a zero, a double zero I mean, and a third dozen. We count that as 2 dozens in a row, even though that zero separated them. So we're going to go with these two and bet 15.45. And now we're going to wait for a dozen or a column to show up twice in a row and just implement the system. Okay, so that's 2 middle dozens in a row. I'm going to start off with 15. Oh, and we're playing this like it's a $15 minimums table. Whatever the minimums are, you can start. If it's 5, you can start with 5 and go to 15. If it's 10, you can go to 10 and 30 and simply double up your sequence if you miss 2 in a row until you recover most of your money or all of your money even. But I'm playing this like it's a $15 minimums. Okay, so I have that covered. And this has only been 12 minutes so far, so I'll try to keep this video relatively short and maybe implement for another 5 minutes or so, just so you can get to watch and make sure you know what you're doing when you implement this system. Now, I can't guarantee that it will always work, but it's a very good system to implement if you have a few $100 and you want to try to sit down a long time at the table and make money at the $15 tables. So we have a 15 and a 1. We gotta wait for 2 columns or 2 dozens, and as you can see, 2 columns showed up in a row, that 1 and then that 25. So we're going to start in with the opposite 2 columns. Then we're going to go up to 45 and bet. And then we're going to wait for 1 to hit twice in a row. Now that's a column and a dozen, so we wait 1 more turn and see which occurs more times in a row. But neither of them did, so we're just going to keep waiting. And that's a column and a dozen. Again, we're going to wait for 1 to occur again, and neither of them did, so we're just going to keep waiting. And that's 2 first dozens in a row, so we start in with the other 2 dozens. And we have a 10 and a 29, so now we gotta wait for a dozen or a column to occur twice in a row. Okay, so that's 2 first dozens in a row. We're going to start in with the other 2 dozens. There we go, we made some money. Now, we're going to wait for a dozen to occur. Oh, here we go. A column occurred twice in a row. Even though we just won our bet, we can start in with the other 2 columns and bet. There we go, we made some more money, and we just keep implementing it as long as we want. That's 2 third columns and 2 first dozens, so we wait and see if a dozen occurs again or if a column occurs again, and then bet with the opposite. Okay, in this case a dozen occurred again, So we're going to bet with the opposite 2 dozens and bet. And as you can see here, we're going to wait for a dozen or a column to show up twice in a row. Okay, so as you can see here, it was on a 13 and then it was on a 23. That's 2 first middle dozens, and we're going to bet with the other 2 dozens. Then we're going to go up to 45 and bet. Okay, that's looking good. We made 150 bucks. If we wanted to leave the casino, we could leave the casino and collect our winnings. Let's see what these stats look like. As you can see, it's a little bit jerky. It has its up and downs, but we definitely profited more than we lost. 150, we were down 105, and we profited 150. And there were points where we were up and points where we were down, but near the end of this video it kept going up and we were getting pretty lucky. See all these ones that are flat, we weren't betting, we were waiting to bet, and that's how it works. So I hope you enjoyed this columns shuffle and dozens shuffle video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this system. It's a very simple system, yet it gives you a very good odds bet and can make the money. I mean, if you have enough money to get 2 bets that make money, and if you can double up your sequence to 30, 90, you can perform very well with the amount of money. So let's just total it all up. 15 is your first bet, then 45 is your second bet. So your first 2 bets are 120. And if you want double your sequence, you need 30 plus 90, which is a total of 360. So that's the bankroll you need, 360. But generally, you're not going to lose too quickly. So generally, you'll make a little money at least before you have to double up to your second sequence. So if you bring a few $100, you should be good. You don't really need the full amount, but if you bring the full amount of 360 out of $15 tables, you should be good for a long time. Now, of course, theoretically, by the time you make about 350 bucks, you're going to lose the 390, or 360 or whatever it was. Generally, by the time you make around 320 bucks, you'll lose 360, and that'll just keep happening. So if you cash out while you're ahead, you should be good. And if you do lose some money, try to recoup the money, and as soon as you're in the profit zone, just cash out. And if you can make the money consistently for a very long time, that's even better. So that's how it works, and you can make money a long time while using this system if you implement it properly, and it's definitely a good system to use. The column and dozen shuffle. As you can see, your first bet will make 15 if it hits. Your second bet will make 15 if it hits. And then after that, you just try to recover your losses for a few wins. Okay, so missed and missed again. Let's see if this one hits. Okay, so that one hit. Gonna wait for a dozen or a column to hit 2 in a row. There's a column that hit 2 in a row, and since we're at double our sequence for a few wins, we simply implement that double our sequence for a few wins. Now we have a dozen and a column because it was a repeater, so we see if a dozen or a column will occur of the same ones again, and it did not, so we're just going to keep waiting for a column or a dozen to appear twice in a row. Okay, so as you can see, that's the third column that showed up twice in a row. We're going to do one more win at 30. And there we go. We made our profits back. So 3 wins at double your sequence should be good enough. And now we have, as you can see here, 2 dozens that occurred, or 2 of the third dozen that occurred in a row. The 30 and then the 35. So we're starting with our other 2 dozens and implement add the regular sequence again. And if things are going your way, you can make a lot of money real fast, but of course there's no guarantee. So I guess I'm gonna conclude this video and review this system that I just developed and was testing out. I mean, I've used the column shuffle before many times, but not this particular sequence. So, I mean, this is definitely one of the better sequences you can use, and it's pretty good. It works good. I mean, this is my first time testing out this particular sequence, and it seemed to work pretty decent. So I'm going to be testing out this sequence much more often, and I'm probably will even implement it with real cash very soon because it's very fun to implement. It's very relaxing. I like the 2/3 bet. I like this system. You can make money before losing money, and it seems to work pretty good. So, okay, there's a 34 and a 19. Those are both in the first column. We'll shuffle on the columns. And there we go. So you got to watch me rake in 150 bucks, and we were finally up where we were in profits. Even after that big loss, we recovered our money real quick by doubling up our sequence. And if you have to double up your sequence further, you can, but it wouldn't be just double 30 to 60. It would be double 30 plus the one before it, which is 15. So it would actually be 75 if you had to double up further, and it would be for 3 wins. You'd go 75, then 225 if you had to double up further for 3 wins. But you need a big bankroll for that, so I wouldn't recommend going beyond that amount if you had to. If you do lose both your bets in your second sequence at 30, 90, I would recommend walking away, because the casino doesn't like you per se. So that's about all for this video. I mean, you can implement it how you like. I was just showing you how I would implement the column shuffle if I was playing the column shuffle using my latest technique. So I guess that's all for this video, and if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and if you plan on using this strategy, let us know in the comments below how it went and how you did in the casino. I would love to hear from you in the comments below of how this strategy worked out for you. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of my system and if you use it in casinos. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the system. I hope you have good luck with it in casinos. And so that's all for this video. Have a nice day and good luck at the casinos. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. My name is Darren, and this is the columns shuffle and the dozens shuffle. So thanks again for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.